Yamamalia. Hello friends. My name is Jeefa Greenaway. I'm a proud Walwong Gamilaroi man from the Liverpool Plains. And this project is located on the unceded sovereign lands of the Wurundjeri people of the Eastern Kulin Nation, what is now known as Melbourne. And this project connects us to the oldest continuing living culture on the planet. And importantly, this project is an exemplar of how we engage with Indigenous knowledge systems translated through meaningful design action. And significantly, this will be a benchmark of how we embed it through infrastructure which empowers community. And so the way in which we organised this project was to set in train a series of guiding design principles. And importantly, what it seeks to do is facilitate agency, reciprocity and mutual benefit through building capacity by being a respectful partner with the traditional owners, elders and knowledge keepers that we engage with, by amplifying Indigenous knowledge systems with an authentic connection to place or country as we define it, and sharing in the benefits of what this enables. And so this is a significant project. It facilitates reconciliation at scale by stitching together some of the missing infrastructure needs of the city north of Melbourne. And you can see here the vastness and the scale of this intervention. But what it enables, it unlocks the potential of how we engage within the communities, providing meaningful benefit through these significant propositions. And so the way in which we organised this was these principal key pillars. These were co-designed with 4 traditional owner groups, working in close collaboration with our terrific partners from Green Shoot Consulting, and it focused centrally on these domains. The first one is connecting to country. Country is viscerally connected to language. It's also connected to the landscapes and the meanings and the memories of place. Importantly, caring for country is about repairing, remediating, restoring the degraded landscapes and ecologies, but also embedding sustainable design practices in all that we do, knowing that we operate within a social licence and contract. And connecting to people is understanding the significance and the importance of our role as practitioners in the built and natural environment to bring communities together in all that we do with these projects. And so this particular image here shows you a family of bridges. And importantly, the design inspiration is drawn from Indigenous languages, the Woiwurrung language of the Eastern Kulin Nation. And so these series of crossing points become the metaphor of how we stitch together and connect people. And the image on the far right, the Birrup Bridge, is actually inspired by the managum, a significant species, a eucalypt, and it's used for ceremonial practice. And so the way in which we really sought to harmonise the relationship to the landscape was to touch the earth lightly, to cross this important watercourse, the Birrung, the River of Mists and Shadows, or the Yarra River as it's better known, and start to understand the importance of the movement patterns, the circulation, the shared user paths in parallel to this infrastructure. So I'll now hand you over to Scott, who's going to talk you through some of the signature moves as it relates to the design and how we use these pillars to underscore all that we've done.
Thank you, Jeefa. These design results could only be produced by a blended multidisciplinary team, landscape architects, architects and urban designers. 40 designers from multiple firms in one space over a period of 6 months, developed up based on the principles that Jeefa just described. But not only did that across this 26-kilometre project in terms of highway length, approximately 80 hectares of public open space had to be redeveloped and reconfigured in order for this project to occur. Think of it more as a giant landscape project with a road within it. Our challenge was to educate a team of over 200 engineers on the importance of these Wurundjeri principles that Jeefa just described. And it was the success of turning the thinking of engineers into these principles of First Nations belief that was the galvanising vision of our design. These ideas or these core principles of caring for country, connecting to country and connecting people. This unlocked a unique design. I can't describe every element in these 5 minutes, but I just want to touch on 3 key areas. One is referred to as the Bolon Bolon precinct. Secondly is the Coonan Creek, and lastly is the land bridge. The Bollen precinct is an area of a light industrial estate, low quality, but it's adjacent to a highly sensitive landscape on the Yarra River, a landscape that has been significant to the Wurundjeri for over a millennia. The opportunity for us to repair this space came about because the engineering scheme required 4 portals to come through here, and it required the complete removal of the industrial estate. By working with the engineers on the principle of caring to country and connecting to country, we managed to rationalise the portals down to 2. By doing this, we unlock access from Bulleen Road back down to the river. We unlock access back to country. We unlock access for Wurundjeri to get back to a country which they'd been gathering on for thousands of years. And by doing this, we could then create a cultural centre for Wurundjeri, which would enable them to allow the broader community of Australia to connect back to country, to understand the principles about what Jifa once described to me as a reciprocal relationship. We are part of country, country is part of us. If you look after country, country will look after you. There's no difference between nature and culture. We are part of country. Another part of the project was what I mentioned before, Coonun Creek. Coonun Creek is a waterway that Wurundjeri would have followed for thousands of years. It joins the Yarra River. But in the 1980s, the Coonun Creek got put underground in a pipe in order for the expansion of the Eastern Freeway. Our project enables us to bring the Coonun Creek back to the surface, to allow this ancient water to flow once again on the land surface, to create a green corridor, to restore an ecology, but to recreate a culturally significant landscape and a waterway for the Wurundjeri people, but also a fantastic upgrade and improvement for the local park for the local people. The Coonun Creek section which we daylight runs for about 3 kilometres. And where the Coonun Creek joins the Yarra River is the point of the confluence of the Eastern Freeway and the new tunnel section, where the portal has to come out and join with a multiple braid connecting into the road. The road system of the Eastern Freeway. Now, we saw the opportunity to create a land bridge, an engineering structure that ties over all the portals. But most importantly, what it does is it carries the ecology of the Coonun Creek over the road and back down to the Yarra, where it always wanted to be, where it's always connected, where the Wurundjeri have always walked for thousands of years. But it also reconnects the sports fields, it reconnects the communities. And what the land bridge does is it breaks the severance that infrastructure often creates in cities. Again, based on these ideas of caring for country and connecting to country. Incorporated into the land bridge, we worked with the engineers to effectively the land bridge. Underneath the land bridge is the vent station, all electrical power stations that are required to control the fans and the lighting for this 7 kilometre long new tunnel. There is a vent stack required to extract the gas. We convinced the engineers to cloak this vent stack, along with many other noise walls and elements within the project, with photovoltaics. These solar panels cumulative generate 17 megawatts of power at the peak period of the tunnel's demand and feed this power directly behind the meter into the tunnel, the most efficient way to use the power. Again, based on this principle of caring for country. But this land bridge is also something that makes sense of the portals. It's a structure that ties them all together. It's a structure that creates a hill, a landscape. It enables us to enter into country and travel into country at the start of our journey. It becomes the landmark, the gateway moment for this project. It's important that it puts landscape over infrastructure and reconnects country. I'd like to, on this last slide, hand back to Jifa for a few final words, and then we'll just quickly run through a short video.
So significantly, this project is a catalyst for meaningful cultural change. It draws upon 67,000 years of continuous connection to this place, and it provides a moment in time of how we start to embrace the opportunity of embedding Indigenous knowledge and Indigenous design thinking into the very DNA of how we think about projects, manifested through meaningful design action. And this series of images here gives you a sense of the breadth and scale of this project. Mariana. Go well. Thank you.